Welcome back to NHL Now. The Jack Adams Award winner was announced on Wednesday, and it was this man, Bruce Cassidy. You can see the numbers that the Bruins were able to put up this season. President's Trophy winners leading up to the pause, and I mean, really right at the top in a number of categories. We're very fortunate now to be joined by the Jack Adams winner, Bruce Cassidy. Bruce, thanks so much for your time. We really appreciate it. Let me start with, what does it mean to you to win this award?
Well, thanks, EJ and Dave, for having me on today. Well, it's an honor for the entire organization. I think the guys that are in the trenches every day, the assistants, Pando, Joe, Dino, goalie Bob, video guys, the trainers, everybody. I think it's truly a team award. Scouts, everybody, GM. So I think I get my name on the trophy, but I truly believe it's one you share with everybody, and obviously the players are the ones that play. So what does it mean? I mean, it is a great honor. You're up there with, Claude and Don Cherry and Pat Burns with previous Bruins winners, so you get to be named in the same sentence as them. So like I said, as growing up a Bruins fan my whole life, I think that's a really cool thing.
Bruce, congratulations. You talk about you're passing the accolades on to everybody in the organization. A good coach is all about leadership, and you've got a pretty good leadership group there. How tightly, I guess, the communication between you and your leadership group, how tight is that in games and outside of games as to game plans and where the team's going?
Well, certainly outside of games, it's their room, Dave. They've been around longer than I have, so Z and Bergie have that. Obviously, we check in to make sure everyone's doing well, and we got to sort of, stick our nose in there as a staff when we need to. But we really trust those guys. In-game, the adjustments, probably like every other staff, right, when we need it. They're the first guys we go to make sure that they're parroting the same message. Obviously, you're not going to agree on everything, but I think we've got a good pulse on how we want to play, how we want to train, et cetera. And that's a big credit to our leaders that we're able to do it that way. And like I said, I can't thank them enough for everything they do.
It has been obviously a crazy year for everyone, and I want to take you back, I guess, almost a full calendar year now to when you guys were getting ready or beginning training camp, because you guys had come off a Game 7 Stanley Cup final loss. It's as far as you can go without getting there. What were the challenges at this time last year to get moving in that right direction again? Because that certainly does seem like a challenge, and you guys met it because you had a great season.
Yeah, I think just get motivated to play in October and November after going through the high-intensity games in May and June. It's sometimes tough to get up. So I think for us, the challenge as a staff was get those guys ready, but obviously maybe give some more responsibility to the players that didn't play quite as much. So they're leading the charge a little bit and still keeping your top guys fresh. But I think that the message for us was always we had some unfinished business. I thought we were trending well in that regard, and unfortunately with the pause, all of that changed. But we felt we were going in the right direction, playing well for what we thought would be going into the playoffs in April. Obviously, that all changed for everybody. We were still grateful, obviously, to get the opportunity to go into the bubble, but kind of worked against us the way we had sort of laid out our season plans. But that's the way it goes. Obviously, the four teams that are there deserve to be there. They're playing great hockey. Fortunately, we weren't good enough at the right time, and so now we start preparing for next year.
And preparing for next year, Bruce, it's interesting because I was going to bring this question up to you. How important is your role in preparing for next year? Talking to GM Don Sweeney about the chemistry, the makeup of the team, possible changes that might come, new additions, things like that. How big a role does the head coach play in that?
Well, we were actually at it this morning, the coaching staff and Donnie. I know he's met with the pro scouts, sort of see where our guys are in their contract wise. That's all Donnie. Obviously he wants input from the staff on where they feel the players are, but he has to sort of hammer those deals out with the player and the reps. So that's what we'll talk about. How does subtracting a player affect the team? How does adding a player affect the team? Can we play our same game without player A or B? I think he has to go through that. Those are the exercises we go through. How do we project certain lines, deep pairs? Do we need to add? So typical discussions. I think every team has them. Obviously, depends on how your season went. Ours went, I thought, very well until the playoffs. We didn't quite get to our game. So do you want to use the recent history as how you judge your team, or do you want to use the complete 70 games before that and the playoff bubble? So those are always interesting discussions, and we had ours this morning, and we'll continue to do it. And I don't think we need a ton of changes, but like everybody, we want to stay fresh. We want to get some, younger, if we can, faster, stronger, better, all those things. So how that shapes out, we'll see, I guess, in the next month or so.
Bruce, what were the challenges for you and the players in the bubble? Because obviously outside of it, we watch the games, we hear the announcers, it looks the same. Yeah, there are no fans, but we're not there every single day, not going home to our families. What were the challenges like for you and for the players?
Well, that's the biggest one, right? The players and coaches and everybody that had families. How do you best deal with missing those opportunities to interact with your family? Obviously, FaceTime is available, but the second challenge is usually the creating energy yourself because of the lack of fans. The buzz. I mean, let's face it. In the playoff time, the media buzz, the local cities buzz, everything can pick you up. Just the fact that you're driving in. I know driving into the Garden, pulling into the parking lot, the fans are out in their jerseys across the street at the tavern or the Fours, whatever restaurant they're at. You sort of get into it. It's on the radio. People are talking about it. So you miss a lot of that part that you guys create that I think is great during the playoff season. And then obviously in game, when it's quiet, you're used to having fans encouraging you, or if you're the road team, they're on you. And I think people can, generate some energy off that, and that can certainly channel a team. So those are the things you missed. But obviously teams are dealing with it well. They're still playing and playing well. So they certainly overcome it, but it's just unique and stuff that I don't imagine too many players have ever gone through.
Yeah, I think unique is probably the right word in this case. Bruce, thanks so much for the time today, and congratulations on winning the Jack Adams Award. We look forward to talking to you down the road.
All right. Thanks a lot for having me, fellas.